The Senate has released its version of a health care bill, and reactions are pouring in. Make-believe Washington Redskins Senator Elizabeth Warren issued a statement saying, quote, "If this bill becomes law, everyone who has ever been born will eventually die. So many thousands of human beings will lie dead on the street at the bloody hands of Republican serial killers. It will be like that time the paleface set fire to our teepees and chased my tribe into a trail of tears. We must respond by attacking the Capitol on horseback with stolen rifles and tomahawks. Otherwise, the Republicans will just continue purveying the ugly, over-the-top rhetoric that leads to violence," unquote. Senator Warren later issued a correction saying she was not, in fact, a member of the Washington Redskins, but did have a featured role in Dances with Wolves as a squaw who gets into Harvard Law School on false pretenses before being killed at Wounded Knee. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer also weighed in on the new health care bill, sobbing uncontrollably throughout a press conference during which he said in part, quote, "I haven't been able to stop weeping since I pretended to read this bill. I just sit on the edge of my bed, clutching my rag doll and crying and crying. Anyone who saw me would be so filled with pity they would never vote for this bill. The Statue of Liberty saw me through my bedroom window and began to cry so hard she rusted, and now may never get to Oz to ask the wizard for courage," unquote. The rest of Schumer's statement was unintelligible. Hillary Clinton, who used to be someone or other, issued a statement on the Senate health bill after being asked for her opinion by an imaginary reporter she saw in a dream about how she would have won the presidency if it hadn't been for the Russians. Mrs. Clinton said, quote, "This bill sucks. Everything sucks. The whole country sucks. Otherwise, so help me, it'd be me traveling around in a helicopter wearing a big red tie," unquote. Mrs. Clinton then knocked back her third martini of the morning and dragged on a cigarette, muttering, quote, "Misogyny, I tell you. If it weren't for misogyny, that big red tie would be mine," unquote. Former President Barack Obama, or whatever his name is, also said something about the bill, but who cares? Finally, there have been some attacks on the bill from the right. Angry conservative commentator Hank Angry told his listeners, quote, "I'm angry because Republicans promised to repeal Obamacare so they'd get elected, then broke their promise so they wouldn't get voted out of office. Who ever heard of politicians behaving in such a way? They should just let Obamacare crash and burn so that millions of Americans suffer, we lose our majority, and then I can be angry about that, which after all is what I do for a living," unquote. President Trump was unavailable for comment, but did send out a tweet saying he was defecting to Russia where the health care was free. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.